right, we have another day here, inching closer to the NBA playoffs. Had a bunch of comments. It looks like Jalen Hurts and Brandon Graham. So that from the playing games last night to a bunch of things on the ticket that hurt. Look, anything to take you away from caring about stuff like Kwame Brown fighting Stephen A. Smith.
Eytan, when I saw that today and I listened to that audio, I thought immediately of you, and I want to play it just to see your head explode.
I got nothing.
What is this all about?
Oh, exactly. This is great. Exactly. You know, and when I thought
we living a life like I do of ignorance, in which we purposely go out of our way to not give a rat's ass about this shit.
I'm usually good at that too, but now I'm seeking things out just to get into Eytan's kitchen because I know he hates this stuff so much, as do I. Trust me, it's not a labor of love. It's painful to have to go and seek this kind of news and audio out. But in the end, I'm doing it for the show.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that making Shan squeal a little bit. You know, you got to make Shan squeal just a little bit.
And I understand if he squeals on this because it is total nonsense. And this is what entertainment has devolved into.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Absolutely.
And when I
Pat Riley, hey Pat.
Now that's great. Now that's quality right there.
I'm gonna go full Russo on this.
That's
you know.
That's quality right
Kwame
there.
Brown couldn't even last a minute in the NBA.
But when I saw this, I'm thinking, and we almost have to play it because we're talking about it. I thought Stephen A. might have put him up to it because he is that kind of guy. He would do anything for publicity, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. He's like P.T. Barnum or whatever. You know, any publicity, bad publicity is great or whatever that quote is. He doesn't care. He just wants people talking about him.
Yeah, any publicity is good publicity. That's what he says.
I
can't believe we're playing Kwame Brown over Jalen Hurts. We're playing Kwame Brown over Brandon Graham. Really?
Well, we have to play all that Eagles stuff too because Barrett is leaving the show today at
12. Yeah, so
first that I found out about it.
Eytan did not know about this. He doesn't
listen to me. Well, hold on. He does not listen to me. I said it twice yesterday, didn't I?
I heard it.
Right.
On the show?
I even said it on the show.
No, I heard it before the show when we were talking
show, and then I said it on the show.
I wasn't here until right when we started, just like you today, right when we started. And you can't nothing that's said on the show is binding. Nothing at all. Like, if you got to let us know, I don't remember anything. The only time I remember what we say on the show is if the stream brings it back or if Culver cuts a promo.
Right.
You got to let me know ahead of time or on the text and all. No, I didn't know what was going on. Now,
I said I was going to get my grandson. Remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was pre-show because he was talking about it, and I remember talking about it with him.
For that, though.
Well,
I don't know.
I got to go get my grandson, man. What it is, my oldest son lives in Kansas City. Well, they're moving on Tuesday to Atlanta. His job is taken to Atlanta. You know, he's an audio engineer. So he's going down to Atlanta. His family go down. So I was like, all right, popped in my head. Well, perfect plan. How about I go get my grandson, and that way you only have my granddaughter with you instead of taking care of my grandson. I'll take care of him during the summer while you guys go down, get settled, get everything, into motion down in Atlanta while I got my grandson. So it worked out perfectly for me.
Now what's his nickname for you?
Oh, Pop.
No,
Pop,
you
Pop.
said something yesterday. You said something different yesterday. I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, Play Action Reels is on the stream already saying he didn't hear that Barrett's leaving to get his grandson either.
Right, and Play Action Reel doesn't miss a trick.
No,
he doesn't miss it all, does he?
Play Action Reels was like one of our first, if not the first, ever to comment on the stream.
Right.
Jeez. Gee,
Whiz.
So I'm flying back tomorrow.
Hey, Pat.
But I'm also doing a show. I'm doing a show from Kansas City in the hotel room on tomorrow though.
Yeah,
so I'm not
can't wait for that. Actually, I can't wait to see what kind of Wi-Fi issues you have tomorrow in whatever Kansas City hotel room.
You hate to do it to me already.
It's going to be a total disaster. I'm predicting absolute disaster.
It's going to be interesting. And are you going to bring that backdrop?
No, I'm going bare minimum. I have a pair of underwear, my toothbrush, and a shirt.
Right.
Nothing else in my bag. And I bought my grandson a Switch, a Nintendo Switch, so I'm bringing that. That's all I'm bringing. This is bare minimum.
You sound like Detmer going on a road trip.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Seriously.
Neckbeard, man, all he had was like those, the cases, the shave cases.
Yeah.
That's all he would bring is the shave case.
I heard he stuck his toothbrush in his back pocket of his jeans.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, it's ridiculous.
Well, it was better. It was better than Steve. Steve. I tell you what, man. This guy, he wore the Zoobs. What are they? Zubaz.
Yeah.
He wore a Zubaz with a suit jacket and a button-up shirt. The tie was like down the side. It wasn't, tied all the way up. It was down, and that's what he wore on the planes.
You're talking about that lineman that we talked about.
Yeah, Steve Everett. Yeah,
Everett. Yeah. He's the guy who smelled bad.
Cable. Whatever you do, just bring an Ethernet cable.
And you and my friend are caught in the middle.
The Middle starts now on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Now that I got a platform, I'm going to use it for the right way. It's time to put respect on name. And you that I'm disrespecting, that's because you the one that's a gatekeeper of disrespect. Stephen A., you bald forehead, you were thinking you tough. Saying all kind of like, oh, you come see me. Well, let's go to Seattle and you sign a, well, Seattle, you ain't got to sign no waiver. Meet me in Seattle where you can have mutual combat and talk like that. I'll slap a tooth. It'll look like you got a toupee on the front of your head or how hard I'll slap the back of your head.
Oh, look at that. The biggest story in sports.
Wow.
I just heard him talking to Stack 5 and them, Stephen and I didn't hear him going at Stephen A. What did Stephen A. say?
Who knows? He's just inserting himself into this conversation. Yep. Look, this is the definition of you don't have to care about everything.
Right.
Seriously, this is the perfect definition of living your life out there. You do not have to care about everything that crosses your radar.
Right.
What is going on here, man?
In other words, you don't have to swipe right on this.
No,
right?
Swipe left. Get as far away from it as possible.
I'm with you.
He's trying to give them everything they want. I love it, man. He's trying to give them everything they want. Sometimes people do need to shut up. You just can't say whatever you want to say and write on social media.
Yeah, but Stephen A., he hasn't talked about Kwame Brown since 2003 or whenever he was traded.
Saying. So why would you even go in there and say anything? It doesn't make sense. Be quiet, man. That's not talking about any sports. That he's talking literally about, all right, forget all this basketball stuff. I don't care about, like when he's talking to Barnes, he's like,
he was on that podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Barnes. We're talking about nobody. We're talking about what you talking about right now. We're talking about real humanity type of stuff. We're talking about you being a man, I'm being a man, and keep my name out your mouth or I will take it out.
I will
bust you
enough people that actually care about this.
Of course.
Isn't it the All the Smoke podcast? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I can't believe that there are people that legit care about this where it dominates their day.
Well, I love that. I love that Stephen. I mean, I love that Kwame wanted all the smoke. I mean, he wants every bit of that smoke.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't backing down on nothing. He's trying to give them whatever they want to see.
That minute. But thanks for the pass, I guess. I don't know what grown man need no goddamn pass, but thank you. I ain't get no pass from your co-host when you was letting this punk motherfucker talk about a teenager and going around college campuses. You gave him a pass. Bonafide scrub, he can't do nothing. This and that. I had to endure you talking about my mama's son like that. The is you talking about? The only thing you known for being a black man that disrespect and talk about other black men. I should find who your old lady is, you punk old, and show her my mama's cooking. I sprinkle a little good seasoning on. I don't talk too much. You talking about? Now that I got a platform,
wow, that's right. He's all
right.
Hey, he trying to give you what you want. I love it, man. Because
let's go tap Kwame Brown. Hey, Kwame.
You can't just say whatever you want to say.
I got news for Kwame though. Skip Bayless, as much as I loathe him, and Stephen A. Smith, they were right. You couldn't play. Okay.
Yeah,
he stunk out loud.
A lot of people were right. I was down there for one of those years, one of those Jordan years, and it was no.
I'm glad you got whatever money you got for being the #1 overall pick and however long you lasted in the league. Good for you. But you stink.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him. That's all he can say is got him. Sometimes there are guys that on Monday when NFL players get paid on Monday or Tuesday, some guys need to wear a mask. You know, they need to wear a mask and cover their face because they robbing the owner.
And not a COVID mask. You're talking about like a bank robber mask.
Hey, get it however you can, man. It's a short amount of time to maximize your money make potential. He maximized it all. He said he got Jordan. He got everybody. I'm not mad at him.
No, I'm not either.
But look, I have no idea. The only thing I saw about this was the audio that we just played because it was on the prep sheet.
Oh no, you got to go back, man. You got to go back when he's talking about Barrett and all smoke.
Time in my life,
you have to. Why? You have to.
Why?
He went all the way back and told. He went back all the way back and told Barnes. Not only am I not going to go back to this basketball, we're not talking about basketball. How about we talk about you and your household? How about Derek Fisher taking your son to football games? How about we talk about that?
Wow.
How he up there, doing this and that to your old lady? Yeah, your ex-wife. Yeah, let's talk
about. Who is invested in Matt Barnes? I couldn't wake up and give a rat's ass about Matt Barnes.
Bro, he went in. He went in.
But you understand what I'm saying? This is not a television show or like something on HBO. I get that it's real life. I don't know who. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
This is great stuff, man. This is great. Sometimes you need nonsense to get your day going. When he told Steven,
I hear you.
He told him, he said, what did he say? He said, oh, you fake Black Lives Matter, wanting to be this, wanting to be that. Boy, you don't care nothing about that because you a gangster. You went out and shot at the club before you went and did that. I'm like,
wow.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa. I'm here for this, Barrett.
He went in. He went in.
This
in. Ooh.
On the Sports Map.
Straight fire.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
You got to understand something. I am getting. People say, "Oh, you couldn't pay me." I am getting paid like you are getting paid right now to do this show, and I still have no interest. So it's not like you couldn't pay me. It's like you are paying me to talk about this, and all I could do was fake my way through it. Right? I can fake my way through another 10 minutes of this. I got to be honest with you. I'm out. Like, what is going on?
I love it.
Boxing matches. I want to challenge you to a fight in the ring.
Yeah.
If that's where you're going, then I'm sorry. Speaking of the ring, it looks like you got that ring light on or something.
Yeah, got the ring light on.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That was perfect timing right there.
Exactly.
Bro.
As soon as you take it to a celebrity boxing match, I know that's like your issue that is so important to you. You need to rush to Twitter to let the world know how much you care about it, as opposed to not really doing anything about it. Come on, man. This celebrity box, this is what this is setting up for, a celebrity boxing match?
I tell you what. Stephen A's in trouble, man. Kwame Brown's like 6'11", isn't he?
No, it's not. It wouldn't be Brown and Smith. It would be Brown and Barnes.
Oh, okay.
That's what the celebrity boxing match would be.
Bro.
Stephen A, the referee.
Stephen A has no business being in this conversation. You guys continue to invite him in. Why?
Because that's the last. I didn't even hear that. I didn't hear Stephen A say anything. But since he invited himself, let's get on that then, man. You got to get on it. See, I'm fired up right now. This morning, I woke up at 8:00 this morning.
Right.
And I was on Birds 365. So you know I'm ready to rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
There
it is, Eytan. He knows he's ducking out on us an hour early, so he goes on Birds 365, does a big segment of football. He's all juiced up, and now he wants to talk Kwame Brown. And then he's going to leave in 30 minutes.
Right. I'd rather talk about Steve Kerr throwing that cover at the end.
How about that?
That was you want to talk about Russell Westbrook tanking a game.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr should be brought up on charges.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr should be held liable for his actions last night. Down 26 points or down 3 points with 26 seconds after a miss, and you don't foul?
He doesn't foul.
You don't foul at all?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
You know what I'd like to do to Steve Kerr's thoughts and theories? I'd like to strangle his ideology.
Well, how about Green? How about I want to do something to Green, man.
Well,
Come on now.
Green is a wild card that you can't. I mean, the guy at at least 3 turnovers, if not 2 offensive fouls alone in the final 45 to 60 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. You got to give me more than that. He only scored 6 points.
And then I got to hear about LeBron James having blurry vision when he made the big 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah. Because there has to be more drama attached to whatever he does. He can't just win the game with a great 3. You know, it's got to be, man, I did it with blurry vision. He wants his Michael Jordan flu moment more than anything in the world.
But think about it. It was at home against a team that struggled their way into a play-in game, and you guys fell significantly because everybody was hurt. All right, this is what he said.
Well, the first thing I did when KCP kicked it out, I looked at the shot clock. I saw it was I had to get it up, at least get up on the rim. Second thing I saw was 3 rims, from being poked in the eye on that previous possession when I drove to the hole and then in transition. So I just aimed for the middle one. I practice enough. I work on, my game, and I was able to the man above, and through a lot of practice, I was able to drain it.
There it is. The only thing better than that today is if Bryson DeChambeau comes out and says he saw 3 flag sticks on 18 and he aimed for the one in the middle and he hit it. He made an eagle from the fairway.
But you can see shot clock, but you can't see.
Right.
You didn't see 3 shot clocks, but you saw 3. Oh, come on, man.
My favorite part of that clip is how he doesn't allow it to end and continues the conversation of, instead of somebody following up or risking not following up, like, all right, LeBron, how did you get through it with that vision? He just continues it saying, look, I've been practicing. I rely on my skill set. I rely on my talents.
He answers the question that didn't occur.
Which look, is a savvy thing. Yes, it's a savvy thing, except when you're doing something so obvious like this, and then it becomes like, come on, man, what is happening here? You don't need to reinforce that you were, I don't know, some sort of like God out there on the floor. That's Jordan in the flu game. Like, save that for the finals. Save that for the up and under. Save that for something else, as opposed to the play-in game where you couldn't even cover the damn spread because Steve Kerr is a troll. I hate him.
Maybe they colluded, Steve Kerr and LeBron, just because they knew Shander was on laid the 5.5 with the Lakers.
That's exactly what it was.
I had it down to 5, and that's what I had 2. I had 5.5, which I knew was cooked, and I had 5. 5 was in a 3-leg parlay. Of course, the other 2 hit, and that's what I'm really upset about because it was a 4-unit bet, and because I saw the line drop to 5, and that's when I really pounded the Lakers at 5. The money line stuff is, I told you guys they weren't going to lose that game, but I don't know. I'm angry.
I was worried. I was worried that you had so much tied into the Phillies last night. And, of course, they lose. At least you hit the under in the Bruins-Caps series, which is the best thing on television right now.
Yeah, you were watching that time.
Talk
about the basketball. You're like, I'm still on hockey, Barrett.
Oh, they were in overtime again, Barrett. Tremendous stuff.
5.5, man. As soon as I saw 4-4, I'm thinking, okay, because it was like 2 or so minutes to go. And I did not need those 2 quick goals to force a 3-3 overtime, which it's just that type of stuff happens. But no, I couldn't believe it, man. Could not believe it. That double overtime that A mentioned.
Yeah, well, and Birdman 990 on the stream points out a goalie blunder. He's right, but you got to credit Smith for the Bruins for hustling in there, skating in there, taking the puck, and doing the wraparound goal. It was amazing play, really was.
We don't even have that, do we? Go ahead.
I think there's audio of that.
You guys are getting past the Kellen Winslow moment. When he saw 3 rims, man. LeBron on 3 rims. You know what I mean? We need to be talking about that. That's a Kellen Winslow moment, dog. When they had to carry him off the field. Come on now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan flu. What are you talking about? He saw 3 rims, man.
Right.
Let's get back on that.
Maybe they'll have him on the All the Smoke podcast, and he can describe his dizzy spell even more.
I knew it was setting up, man, because you could tell he was kind of hobbled, man. The beginning of the game, and his ankle was He was gingerly running on it. You could definitely tell
he was setting you up, Barrett, for more drama.
Bro.
That's what he was doing.
Man.
And you know he's going to come out in game 1 for shoot around against the Phoenix Suns with a big pair of glasses on because his vision is still not going to be quite right.
Well, they still have another game. They have to play Memphis.
No, they don't. Golden State plays Memphis.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Golden State plays Memphis.
They're good.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
good.
talking about LeBron. LeBron's in.
Just in general.
Oh man, see, and
yeah, but LeBron's playing Phoenix Suns. That's
no. I'm saying I thought you meant like in general, like starting it off. We still have tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, we got the Wizards and the Pacers tonight to see who the Sixers play,
which is awful.
Yeah,
terrible game.
Terrible.
I'm not.
I'm out. I'm going to watch the PGA 3 times today.
Well, Harry, you right. He did get me, man, because I saw his ankle and the way he was hollering.
I was
just like a big old catfish. You know what I'm saying? I was a big old catfish. That bait was just right there in front of me. I was like, oh man, he's not gonna be able to make this game, man. He's done. He's out. He's out. He's got to be out.
Willis Reed at the start of the game, and he's Michael Jordan at the end of the game.
No, Kellen Winslow, man. They had to carry him out, man. We had to carry him with one eye like this, you know.
It's insane because he was the one who, after he pushed for this, was saying how ridiculous it is and how stupid it is. And now there are like people talking. I'm looking right here to try and get the update on the PGA. And one of the top stories on CBS Sports is LeBron shot years in the making. Game-winning three-pointer that put the Lakers in the playoffs.
Right.
Was the culmination of LeBron James' work extending his range. I'd rather talk about Kwame Brown at this point.
We've come full circle. We've come
seriously,
full circle.
Like I'm this serious.
I'm gonna use it for the right way.
Like that's serious. What are we doing here?
Yep.
If they had covered the game, maybe you could argue I'd be in a better mood. But I still like this is disgusting because he doesn't need it. Like we're not talking about Matt Barnes.
Right.
We're not talking about Shake Milton. We're talking about one, if not the best player ever. Like, isn't this kind of a knock?
Yeah.
Like, isn't this a little bit of a I don't know, not like why would you need this on your legacy? Remember that game-winning shot he hit in the play-in game? Who the hell cares? People don't even talk about Jordan blowing by Craig Elo 2 times anymore. Right.
No, you're right. This should not be a legacy builder.
No.
If you're LeBron.
And I say that as a fan of him. Like, this is terrible. This is terrible.
How dare you take away his Winslow moment?
All right,
come on.
Do you think Golden State beats Memphis?
Yes,
you do. Okay. Who do you think wins tonight?
I think they beat Memphis, and I think it's over. I think at that point, Golden State's going to get run out. It's going to be hard for them to do it.
I'll tell you, seeing Curry finally started hitting some shots in the second quarter, about midway through the second quarter. He was really quiet. Then all of a sudden, he hit a couple of flurries of threes. He gets that ball up and out so fast.
It's just
from 30 feet, and it's nothing but net.
I mean, going into halftime, he didn't even look at it go in. He turned around and was playing to the fans.
Yeah, he's running into the tunnel, and the ball's still in the air.
No, it's crazy, man. You're right. I think here's the thing, though. The Lakers, and not really as anything truly as a result of the Warriors, but I mean, the Lakers had 20 and 22 respectively first, second quarter last night. That was a terrible first half for them.
Yeah.
And that I think makes Golden State look a little better overall. Now you're right. When Steph is on, but that's the thing is if Golden State hangs around any game, they can beat anybody because when it does come to one or two guys taking over a game, you've got one of the most difficult matchups in Steph. So I recognize that. That's what happened last night. But the Lakers ideally should have been putting up 30 to 35 in one of those quarters, and we wouldn't have seen it as tight. And that's where I think they're going to get in trouble in the playoffs. I think they can beat Memphis. I just think Memphis right now has become way too top heavy, unfortunately. But I think they can beat them.
No question they can beat them. I mean, come on now, Draymond, man. He was the X factor. If he'd had played anywhere close to where I've seen him play at, man, they'd have beat the Lakers. They'd have literally beat the Lakers. But he comes out with a 6-point effort. Come on now, you're not Ben. You got to come out there better than that, man.
I agree.
Way better than that.
Yeah, it was not a great game by a long shot for him ultimately, especially with the turnovers there at the end. And look, you can argue the same thing with the Lakers, which is, hey, the Lakers scraped by in the first half.
Yep.
And then, yes, they put on some effort in that third quarter, but look at the mistakes. Look at the openings that Golden State, I don't think you feel good either way.
No.
Right? Like if you're Golden State going into this next game, it's like, man, we got lucky just hanging around that game in the first place. And then if you're the Lakers, you're thinking, all right, we won that game. We're in the playoffs, but damn, really? Golden State gave us a bunch of opportunities towards the end of that game just for us to stick around and win it.
No question. No question. I mean, and I'm watching the Lakers at this point, man. I don't see – I need more out of AD, man. I mean,
that's coming.
I need more out of him. He really wasn't playing up the par. I mean, nobody on that court could really stop him if he put his head to it like, look, I'm that dude. But I didn't see it out of him. There were times in the game where I forgot he was on the court. And you shouldn't be like that, man.
Yeah, I think you're going to find a much easier, softer matchup for him in the first round. And that's going to be, what's happening too is, and this is not an excuse by any means, because I agree with you that he shouldn't be disappearing in stretches at all. But what's going to happen is in this next matchup, you're not going to have a guy like Draymond. You're not going to have Eytan can't move around and frustrate AD like a Draymond can, and in a smaller standpoint. And there really isn't a big dog out there that Phoenix is going to boast that's going to make it tough in front of them. So that's where I think the Lakers actually have a major advantage would be Anthony Davis in this coming round. But yeah, I mean, in a 3-point game like that, you would like to see Anthony Davis dominate more. But all right, we got to take a quick one here on the network. We're back. We have some things happening. Kai Carlin's going to join us in the second hour, talk a little bit about the Sixers moving on, but a lot with LeBron James, this guy too.
Time to put respect on his name.
Yes,
exactly.
We'll do that. We'll continue to put respect on Kwame Brown's name. This program here, it's The Middle.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor, Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out Book It Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the Book It Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the Book It Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Kwame Brown.
Another day, another Julio Jones trade thing, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Eagles just picked up another offensive lineman.
Who did?
The Eagles did.
Who'd they get?
A guy named Clark out of Indy. He's another
Indianapolis.
guy. Yeah, he's one of those guys that play both guard and tackle, both sides.
He's
strong.
He's Sirianni knows. So
yeah.
All right, we got a guy here. OG Philly guy says Barrett Brooks is my favorite. Eytan and Harry need to step it up. I agree.
Well, I appreciate you, but yeah, all right.
I do need to step it up.
Harry Mays.
Yeah, I saw this here. Julio Jones, another day. I don't know when this is going to die. This is like the Carson Wentz trade rumors. But another local reporter, this one, Jeff Schultz, who covers the team for The Athletic. The Falcons would like to trade all-pro wide receiver Julio Jones. And then, boom, everything picks up from there. Well, you got a bunch of first-round picks. Most receiving yards per game in NFL history. Where do you think Julio Jones ranks?
I say around about 22.
I have no idea.
22.
Yeah.
Like 22nd. Like there are 21 guys up top ahead
All
of
time.
Yeah.
Okay. Harry, you want to take a shot?
I'll say
nowhere near 22.
No. I'll say 40.
Man, you guys have no love for Julio. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get any. Julio Jones got to be right? At least top 3 most famous Julios ever, besides Julio in the schoolyard.
Julio Franco.
Iglesias.
Julio Iglesias.
Yeah. Like I said, top 3. I'll put Iglesias over Franco. I'm sorry.
Julio Franco was playing baseball until he's 50.
Julio Jones has the most receiving yards per game in NFL history. He's number 1.
Really?
He's number 1. Yeah,
Who
look
knew?
at Barrett's eyes. He didn't realize
How hollow are those numbers?
Now say it again. Say he's what?
He's number one, he said.
Most receiving yards per game, 95.5. Yeah, per game. Calvin Johnson below him, Michael Thomas, Antonio Brown, and Beckham.
Yeah.
1 through 5. Look, this is the age of the wide receiver, the explosive wide receiver. It also puts into perspective why you really can't rely on a guy like Greg Ward anymore, because Greg Ward is like at the bottom of that list.
Well,
dude will catch a pass, but he will not get anything more than that.
Well, you look at that's why Zach Ertz is on the chopping block. But you said that, man, and I look at it. It is the age of, they don't let DBs do what they used to do. Like Mel Blount used to assassinate guys. He used to cut guys with, I bet you in his gloves he used to have razor blades or something. He was killing guys off the line, man. Him, Haynes also.
Yeah, that's when football was football,
right? You know what I mean?
But then you got a guy like Al Night Train Lane saying, "Well, those guys are able to do, like we could do even more than that, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So everything is relative. Where it's going to happen the same. It's happening with us. Look, we're all in that similar span of age here, right? Yeah. So it's happening with us where soon there are going to be people on the planet that are in platforms that are hosting shows that have never seen Michael Jordan play. Like we've never seen Wilt Chamberlain play.
I saw Wilt Chamberlain play.
Well, you did. All right. Well, you're the only one, but you probably don't even remember.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I was trying to make it seem like you weren't that old.
I was very, very young, but that's when I started to really enjoy sports, when I was like 7 years old.
Now, I could definitely appeal to Barrett on this one because I'm sure he's seen this movie. I am sure of it, that you've seen 12 Monkeys, right? With Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember that? Because I don't know if Harry has it all, so I'm not going to assume anything here. But do you remember that scene where the woman, I forget who the famous woman is who's co-starring in it, looks back and sees that picture of Bruce Willis, who...
Now where'd he go?
I hate to do it to him.
All of a sudden he's gone. He's talking about Bruce Willis and he disappears.
He pulled a Kaiser Sose on us.
Yeah. I'm looking at Julio Jones's playoff numbers. Where did you go?
I don't know. I tried to put this video up, and for some reason,
your studio stinks.
No,
it's whenever you try to multitask and do something, it knocks you off of the show.
No. It wasn't that. I'm using a new browser. I'm using this.
There's always something new.
The truth is, he knocked you guys off the show.
Oh.
Yeah, I knocked you two off the show. Right. So I'm using this new thing called Microsoft Edge, this new browser.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Edge. And I don't know what the hell's going on it. That's all. But no, you remember that scene in 12 Monkeys where the woman sees the pic and it's Bruce Willis who's like back in some 19, I don't know, World War I photo. And it's impossible unless he's traveled back in time. Do you remember that scene?
No.
Yeah, I do.
You didn't see the movie, Harry.
I did see the movie. I saw the movie.
You saw 12 Monkeys?
Yes.
I'm calling you out on that.
I saw it.
Okay. Well,
it didn't make an impression on me.
That's fine. And I'm not saying this is referencing a great movie. I'm just referencing it as far as where this thing is. No, here's what I would say, though. We saw Harry Mays in that similar situation. Did you see this? You could see Mays jumping in. Now, did you know this? This was a real thing. You want to talk about an old tradition. You got DBs on the line saying we used to be able to cut guys and punch guys and smack guys. Barrett, this was the 1937 PGA Championship with the tournament winning putt, and there was no eBay back then.
No.
So look at the mad rush to get the ball.
Yeah. How about that?
Wow. Look, and them guys, they're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, you're right. One, I don't know who that was. Ben Hogan or
no, that wasn't Ben Hogan. That was Denny Shute. Denny Shute.
Denny Shute.
Yeah, he won his second consecutive PGA championship in 1937.
Wow.
Out at Fox Chapel, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but here's the thing: was that a playoff? I got a question.
It's match play.
Yeah. It is.
They played match play in that tournament back then.
So we're back in 3. Yeah. That's why. All right. So I was going to ask you, well, what about the other ball? Because in a normal tournament, that guy still needs to hole out.
Right.
But in that case, match play. Can you what is this? Seriously,
that was crazy.
And when did that practice stop? When did that?
I don't know.
Was that no longer a thing in golf?
I mean, that was probably, they didn't have ropes back then. Like everybody was inside the ropes. I remember going to the U.S. Amateur at Marion back in 2005. There are no ropes. You can walk right up to the player in the middle of the fairway. I'm standing next to Eduardo Molinari on the 18th fairway at Marion. He ended up winning the tournament, and I'm standing 2 feet away from his golf bag. Swear to God.
That is ridiculous.
Wow. You'll get locked up now.
Oh, well, at the amateur, I think you still can do that.
Wow.
But apparently that was probably the way it was.
You can't rush the green.
No.
That's what I mean. Like, when did that practice no longer become a thing?
Bro, because I would want my damn ball. That's my history.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fighting for that ball.
Do you see those guys fighting for that ball? I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, it's a little different for you because you're a little bigger than the rest of them. But that dude right there, Danny Shute, he wasn't fighting anybody.
Man, he was like, oh, well.
You know who the guy was that he beat? You know what his name is? Jug McSpaden.
Oh,
and it took 37 holes. That was the 37th hole in their match. So they played 36, and then they had to go to an extra hole.
Wow.
So I'm Googling this, and I just want to put this up here just because you can see it here, too. I'm trying to Google when did people stop.
He won $1,000 was the winning prize. $1,000.
What was that worth, you think?
Well, I don't know, but they'll get like $1.5 million now.
We'll put it like this. You could buy like what? You could buy like 6 Model Ts then with $1,000.
It didn't come in.
Barrett has a Model T motor that he's welding together right now as we speak.
Oh my goodness.
How do you even Google that? When did people stop rushing?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't know.
PGA greens? All you needed is somebody to put Bum Rush the Show underneath that. PE. I mean, that is a Bum Rush the Show right there.
I can't believe you could do that. I mean,
I know.
It wasn't a gentleman's game back then?
Not when it came to getting that ball. I tell you what.
Right. That was ungentlemanlike right there.
You've been in some scrums, man.
That was savage.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can get that info.
Can you?
It's funny whenever you see a guy in a hat like that, everybody thinks it's Ben Hogan.
Mm-hmm. I keep thinking about Kwame Brown beating up on Stephen A.
That would be awesome.
Oh, that's classic, man. That'd really be funny, man. That would be so funny. I might pay to watch that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you think Kwame's trying to make a comeback? He'll be at the WWE pay-per-view next month.
Right. No, I seriously think that Kwame he ready to give everybody what they want, man.
That I'm disrespecting. That's because you the one that's a gatekeeper of
disrespect.
Disrespect.
Yeah. Right.
He told me, look, man, let my name be out of your mouth. When you say my name, let it taste like in your mouth.
Right. Right. No,
bro, they say his family crazy, man. They said, his pops was in jail for killing somebody.
Kwame?
Two of his brothers, two of his brothers were in jail for killing somebody. Yeah.
Wow.
Like they're nothing to play with. That family's nothing to play with.
Really?
Yeah. Honest to goodness.
Wait a second. How do you know all of this, but you didn't know the other part of it?
Because that just came out. This is like 3 days ago. I've been, listen to the back and forth. Listen to Matt Brown.
So you're into this podcast, huh?
Well, other smoke. I like some of the guests. Like when they had Shaq on, I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
When they had AI on, it was amazing.
Yeah.
AI really opened up. You know what I'm saying? So I watched that.
Right.
But when I saw Kwame Brown, come on, man. This dude been retired for 8 years now, and you still saying his name?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Wow, that's epic right there.
Yeah, that's where I didn't realize that you had this wealth of knowledge with the history of what was happening here. I thought that this is all new. Yeah,
the Stephen A is the new stuff. Stephen A wrote a check. I don't think his ass can cash, and that will be a problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. No, Harry. There's no way that that's going to happen.
No.
All right,
no.
Bro. But see, that's what you're lacking. You're lacking the insight of what Kwame Brown is talking about. He doesn't care about it happening. He wants to beat this man to death. He wants to whoop his tail. He doesn't care about anybody else watching. They ain't gotta watch. It ain't gotta be paid for you. He just wants to put his hands on them.
That sounded like one of those old wrestling promos. I'll find you in an alley. I will track you down.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This whole thing here is all set up to be that.
Right.
And
I'm saying Brown is not setting up anything. He wants all action. He wants to give you whatever you want right now. He doesn't care. He say line it up. Whoever, Matt, Stephen A, all of them.
Okay, so he's trying to jumpstart some sort of new career.
No, he just wants to fight them cats. he don't care nothing about. He wants to whoop somebody. He wants to put his hands on somebody. He said, he said he quit. This when you know he's real pissed off. When he said, look, my son is sitting here watching you guys say this stuff about me. That's when you know it's serious. When you add family members to it.
Tell him to get the hell off Twitter.
Well, I got news for him, though. They weren't lying.
Right. They ain't told nothing but the truth. But then he turned around and told some truths. He turned around and broke it down. Derek Fisher took his wife, Matt Barnes. Yeah.
Right.
So he was going at it. He said, man, forget this basketball stuff. I care less about this basketball stuff. Let's get in some real world type of stuff. He went in.
Man, I'm telling you, this is an absolute ridiculous story. And all I can tell you is that Barrett's going to pay $100, $99.99 to watch these two guys fight.
No, I'm gonna catch a plane.
Well, they're not going to fight tonight.
I'm just saying, I will catch a plane to go wherever this fight's going to be and watch it.
I thought you were saying you're going to catch a flight tonight to St. Louis.
No, he's going to Kansas City.
I'm going to Kansas City. But I'm flying to wherever that fight is. If it's in Atlanta, I'm flying to Atlanta. If it's in where they say
Seattle.
Seattle,
yeah.
I will fly to Seattle to see this.
Okay.
Him and Stephen A. Man.
Now you're leaving here at the top of the hour, so we should probably play at least one thing from Hurts yesterday, right?
Yeah. There's a bunch of audio cuts from Jalen.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
It doesn't change. The mentality I have, it doesn't change. The urge and thirst for growth and being a better leader, being a better quarterback, that doesn't change. So I want to obviously impact the people around me in the best way I can. Be somebody that people see as an accountable person, an accountable quarterback, and to go out there and do my job. At the end of the day, you earn the respect of your teammates when you go out there and make plays and you do those things. So I just want to continue to do that and bring everybody together.
All right, we're going to get back to this in a second, and we've got a couple of guys who are going to join us that are doing something cool and also are perfect to talk about. And Barrett is going to be able to geek out with another Super Bowl champion, a Philadelphia product, Bloomsburg's finest in Jari Evans, and one of the most famous noted sports agents in the business across the entire country, in Gerald Colton, hang with us for a couple. What's up, fellas?
Yo, what's up, bros?
Hello, guys.
What's up? My guy. What's going on, man? Appreciate you. Good.
Bloomsburg Huskies in the house, man. How about that?
Go Huskies.
He's also my frat brother, too.
It's a small D2 school in the Poconos, that's all.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's also my frat brother,
That's right. Q-Dog.
Q's.
Well, that's last time we had Nui on, who's also a Q. The conversation was completely derailed. I don't even think Harry and I got a word in.
No, we didn't get one word in.
Before that happens, which is okay. That's totally okay. Before that happens, just tell us as far as what you guys are also doing on Philly Voice. And we have a lot to talk about with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, you guys' thoughts on, what's been happening. But you guys have something new that's also happening here on Philly Voice, where you can catch the middle, you can catch Birds 365, my column, John McMullen. So a lot here with JAKIB Media, but also now you guys.
Hey, listen, we are so excited to be part of Philly Voice and be doing what we're doing. Jari and I had done a podcast. We called it Colton's Court back on Wildfire Radio. We did that for a couple of years. And I joined iHeartRadio's Fox Sports The Gambler and hosted a couple of shows. COVID kind of hurt one of them. It was It's a Hard Rock Life down at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino with the president, Joe Lupo, who had a real extensive background in setting odds. And Jari was always co-hosting with me and hopping on. And we had this opportunity presented to us by Philly Voice, and we're just so excited to be back doing our stuff. We host it out of Venue, which is Jari's restaurant down in they call it the Stadium District now. It used to be South Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that there, and we're talking mostly Philly sports. Jari's background is incredible as a Philadelphian, but a superstar. And you would agree with that, Barrett, right? Superstar,
no question,
guard in the National Football League. And we call it the All-Pro Philly Show for lots of reasons, but mainly he puts the All-Pro in the All-Pro Show. He was a 5-time All-Pro, 6-time first-team Pro Bowler, and just a fabulous guy and a Philly guy, even though he spent his whole career, or at least 11 out of 12 years with New Orleans and the last year with Green Bay. But he's a Philly guy, and we're talking Philly sports mostly.
Well, that's Barrett played here a year, and then they mistakenly move on from him. He goes on like Jari, finds success elsewhere, wins a Super Bowl in Pittsburgh. But like so many people who have played here for a year or longer, come back and make it their home. And, there's something to that, even with Barrett, right, where you are now looked at as a fixture here in the media, former player and all, but I don't even know how many people associate you as former Eagle first, as just opposed to Super Bowl champ, Steeler, and playing in the NFL, similar to John, his career outside of Philly. It's wild.
Well, I had the opportunity to get drafted here, and once you get drafted somewhere, I tell people they're my two favorite teams, man. You try to, equate who's, which team do you like the most? I mean, the Eagles gave me my start, and the Steelers gave me a Super Bowl, so it's hard to really differentiate the two, man. But, like I said, man, just like Jari, I put my roots down here. He came back, and he stayed here. I'm not going back to St. Louis to live. I can't do that, man. There's more money to make around here. But, you know, like I said, man, it's just a great place to be, man. Hey, I got to come down to get some of that food you got down at that restaurant, man. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Man. Please do, man. I don't know who Barrett fooling. He know he going to take that Super Bowl ring over everything else. I don't know what he talking about.
Yep. We needed somebody else with the jewelry to call him out on that. You know, it just goes through one ear out the other from us. No, we're trying to work a show down at venue. Trust me, man. The food is amazing. The spot is beautiful. So we can get everybody down there, do a couple of shows down there.
Absolutely.
And as Gerald said, the stadium district now, right? Because, and hopefully we'll be doing some stuff with a major mogul that's down there, a new major mogul that's down there as well. And we're right down the street. So there's a lot of cool and crazy things happening in that area for sure. All good. But we just, before you guys came on, we just played, and this is something that everybody's talking about, including you guys, about Jalen Hurts and the starting quarterback situation and going into this season. I don't even know where to begin with expectations for the team, but it just kind of feels like the team is saying that he's their quarterback without actually saying he's their quarterback. And then Jalen Hurts is forced to go out there and talk in front of the media like he is the quarterback, even though we haven't really been told that he is the quarterback. Seems kind of bizarre and convoluted.
Eytan, from my standpoint, it's extremely bizarre and convoluted. You know, first of all, you waited so late in last season in the disastrous Carson Wentz performance to finally go to him. You went to him and he showed some really good flashes. Then they undermined him by pulling him out of that Washington game, a winnable game. You know, you're playing to maybe knock Washington out of the playoff. Give the quarterback a chance to show what he can do in a somewhat pressured situation. Instead, they decide to tank that game. Doug Peterson all aboard for the tank, and then he gets fired the next week. Jeff Lurie, the owner, comes out, makes it very clear cut. This is Jalen Hurts' team. He made no bones about it. He absolutely said that. Then he hires a head coach, and the head coach was hired because he didn't necessarily agree with the owner on some of his stuff and wouldn't go with some of his moves with his coaching staff. And the new head coach immediately says there's a competition for the starting quarterback. So I think the whole thing is very bizarre. I think it's pretty clear that Jalen's going to be a starting quarterback, but you'd like to see the whole organization behind him and not these mixed signals.
John, who would you rather block for, Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts?
You muted, bro.
Hold on. No, it's on him.
Yeah, you muted.
It also, I mean, we've got two linemen here.
Sorry about that. Yeah. No,
you're good.
I think I'm at my gym. I had a couple guys training this morning, but I think Carson Wentz is a franchise QB. I think it was just the communication in the locker room and in some way, and maybe the quarterback room, Frank leaving, staff leaving. When you have success, that happens. Jalen Hurts, I like Jalen Hurts. What's our sample size of Jalen, right? We have what? Alabama and Oklahoma, two different divisions. He was a Heisman Trophy winner candidate, maybe at both universities, but definitely leaving Alabama, going to Oklahoma, new system, spread system, threw the ball, still a Heisman Trophy candidate. And those are two major conferences, divisions that he played in, and he showed some stuff. The sample size in the NFL is it's too small. Now he has a new coaching staff. It's too small. What's the problem with having a competition? Barrett knows this. No matter if you're starting, no matter if you're a backup, no matter if you're a third string, you're always out there competing against somebody, competing against the starters, the second group, the third group, and most importantly, competing against yourself. And Coach Payne used to say it all the time, especially with the vets and the older guys. He was like, I don't have to see it every day, but I got to see it. So there's nothing wrong with a competition. They're going to be competing regardless if the coach says it's a competition or not. The thing that you want out of an organization, out of coaching staff, is put the best player on the field. Who earned the position? Who's the better player? Put them on the field so you can win games.
Well, as they are constructed right now, I mean, things can change. They can acquire some more players between now and the start of the season. Where do you guys, Jari and Gerald, have the Eagles in the division as far as 1, 2, 3, or 4?
All right, real quick, we're going to break on the network. You guys can answer that. We'll be live on the stream. It's the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss anything, including when guys just pop in all throughout the day. We're back on Sports Map Radio next. All right, go ahead, guys. I'm sorry. Jai, you can start if you want, or Gerald.
Go, Jai.
Yeah, I mean, last year I had them winning the division, and obviously they didn't take advantage of the issues in the division. I mean, this year, I think you got Saquon coming back off an injury. You got a young QB in New York who's a good QB. I don't really include Washington because their quarterback is going to be young. I mean, just like the Eagles, but a little bit younger. I mean, the Cowboys have to be the front runner right now, you would think. But I think the division is filled with a few holes. Mike McCarthy's second year in Dallas, first year was going well until what's the name got hurt, and who knows. But I think the division is, it's NFC East. Typically, 2 teams come out of the East anyway, so I think that they can definitely be one of those teams to make the playoffs. I think they could win the division. I just don't know what team is going to show up. New coaching staff, new scheme. I just don't know.
And Harry, I see it right now as I don't know who the heck they are. It's that they're really, really hard to project. I presume Jalen Hurts is our starting quarterback. We got a brand new coaching staff that's untested, nothing really from a track record to go off of. The rookie Devontae Smith is obviously going to step on the field and play a big role. And we've got 2 great offensive linemen here with us. I don't even know who the Eagles' offensive line is. If they have Brandon Brooks back, that's terrific. Is that the kid they drafted in the second round? Is he going to get in the starting lineup? Is he going to be playing left guard? Who's our left tackle? I got a lot of questions about this Eagles team. So it's really hard to project how they're going to do. I don't think they're as set in their positions as the other teams in the division are. And this team managed to come up last in a really bad division last year. So it's really hard to project them as very good. By the same token, they weren't that far away either from being the best team in the division. And if the new coaching staff comes in, makes a difference, Jalen Hurts proves he's a valuable starting quarterback or a real starting quarterback, they could certainly win the division. I just don't have enough to go off of right now to say that going into the season, I'd be pretty skeptical. And based on the fact that now they're not having mini camps, there's only 2 exhibition games. I don't know that we're going to know a whole lot before September.
Well, you're right, man. But due to the dynamics of what's going on with the Eagles organization, you having to negotiate contracts with them, you've done it before. And, the direction this team is going, do you see as a solid base as far as the direction, or do you see there's still a little turmoil in the organization as far as what direction they're going?
Barrett, there's definitely turmoil. Now, could that solidify? It's really up to this new coach. All right. I mean, everything's placed in him right now because that's really the only change. We still have Jeff Lurie at the top, Howie Roseman running on the football end of things, and now it's the new coaching staff. So there's nothing that has happened so far that I can say to you, Barrett, now I'm confident. Now they're solidified. Now I like their direction. We don't even know who their starting quarterback is. So I think there's nothing to base that on. And I want to give this new coaching staff a chance. So I withhold my judgment. I'm sitting here. I'm skeptical here in mid-May. I got to tell you, I'm skeptical because they haven't inspired me a lot. But I'm a Philadelphian. I'm always hopeful. Always.
Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, hanging with Jari Evans, Gerald Colton, Barrett Brooks, all 3 of them. Barrett's got a jet too, so we've got about another 2 minutes or so before the top of the hour. And I'm curious. All right, Ja, this is the most important question, and I'm going to ask it for Barrett. But we come down, take the middle, crew down to venue. What's on Barrett's menu? Like, what should Barrett be ordering down there? Because, Harry and I, we can eat, and we can say we can eat. Right. But Barrett, when he's going like you, right? Hey, man, I'm coming hungry.
Yeah. Right.
Barrett's coming to eat.
Yeah.
Do you still got the brisket sliders? Those brisket sandwiches? Bro.
You can't go wrong with our cheesesteaks. My general manager, Ming, she owns 2 restaurants in Philly. And you can't go wrong with her cheesesteaks. The seafood, the big ball seafood steak is good. But I like the salmon burger. I like the big fish sandwich. The big fish is about 3 pieces of whiting. And the salmon burger is very good. The wings and fries are awesome. So we got a few things on the menu. You guys just got to come check it out.
You still got that mac and cheese down there too?
No, we don't have the mac and cheese, but we got a mac and cheese and fixing coming to our menu soon.
Is Barrett working off some old menu or something here? That was
they did. It had meat in it too. It was good.
Yeah, we had like a lobster mac that was pretty good. But we got some more seafood dishes coming. But we're working on this lobster mac with fixings on it.
There you go. Fellas, we appreciate you. Barrett's got a jet too. Gerald Colton, Jari Evans, Philly.
Good luck with the show.
And everything here from the All-Pro Philly Sports, all things JAKIB Media and beyond. Appreciate you guys.
Have a good one, fellas.
Appreciate you guys. See you in venue. Take care. Bye.
That's right. Gerald and Ja. Barrett,
Later, fellas.
Safe
All right,
traffic,
man.
my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Enjoy some lobster mac wherever you go.
I can't wait to see what his Wi-Fi is tomorrow in that
Oh,
hotel.
it's going to be something. All right,
Yeah.
we're back in 3.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor, Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
All right. I got to ran 3 different lineups.
What do you mean?
For fantasy golf.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, trying to see. So there's a tier, and then there's just your entries, and then there's day 1. So my round 1.
Keegan Bradley's in the lead.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
At 4 under.
My round 1 guys, Rory, Finau, Cantlay, Answer, Neiman, Wiesberger.
Is this salary capped?
Yeah, it's capped.
Okay.
So this one, yeah, so it's capped here.
Was that DraftKings?
Yeah, just DraftKings. This is just day 1. Like this is my day.
Oh, okay.
So again, I tried to take like Finau. I mean, the guy could shoot a 59 today and miss the cut, right? So I tried to take advantage of guys who I thought could get hot.
McIlroy's +1.
Yeah, +2 I have him at.
Oh, is he +2 now?
Yeah, Wiesberger's +4.
Wow.
2 guys that now I've got some minutes left, like Cantlay, Finau, Answer. Neiman hasn't missed a cut all year, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of those guys go off in the afternoon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm
but
kind
the
of
wind could kick up in the afternoon. That's what usually happens. The wind is usually down for the morning.
Where is it like swirling, or is it tail? Like I assume that it's gonna.
The wind at this golf course, you get a sort of a one direction wind for the first 4 holes. Then you go straight towards the beach for 1 hole, and then you come back, and for the next 7 or 8 holes, you'll have another wind until you get to 14, and then you have another wind for 15 through 18. It's a figure 8 on the beach.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, not the winds of change.
Yeah, Jesus.
Dust
in the wind. More like it.
Seriously.
I had Cantlay
for DraftKings
for top 5 plus 700. Berger for top 10 plus 275. Reed plus 300 top 10. Cam Smith plus 400 top 10. And then I took 2 matchups: Spieth over DeChambeau and Thomas over McIlroy.
That's both of them are looking good. DeChambeau is +2. Fucking
Is he?
Thomas is +3.
Is he really?
Yeah.
The hell?
I have in one of my full tournament lineups, I have JT, Spieth, Casey, English, Palmer, and what is it? Bezuidenhout?
Bezuidenhout, yeah.
Bezuidenhout, yeah.
Yeah.
He was my long shot. I needed a long shot in there. Casey, of course, is tied for second, 3 under, but Justin Thomas is killing that because he's 3 over. Harris English, not bad at even par.
Yeah, he played well last week. So a lot of people, he's even through 11.
That lineup is currently winning $5.
Okay.
How about Xander? Xander's another one, man. Schwartzel, even par.
Yeah. He's been playing well.
Yeah, I took him in top 20.
Yeah, Xander's 2 over.
And Bryson. I need Bryson to miss that cut.
The middle starts now on the Sportsman.
Oh, we got
Radio
fake
Network.
news without
Presented
Barrett.
by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, our second hour, no Barrett, as he's on his way to Kansas City, right? Not St. Louis.
Kansas City, yeah.
Yeah, it's Kansas City.
Yeah.
Sweet
And he's going to
home
be coming
field.
back with his grandson.
Correct.
Who's going to spend a couple months with him, I think, over the summer. So he's going to have a fishing buddy.
Now, how old is his grandson? Do you know?
I think he's pretty young. I think he's like under 10, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
I'm not
Barrett
positive.
is a great, think about how great of a grandfather Barrett would be.
Oh, I know.
I mean, he's
tell
just
me about
happy as is, right?
Yeah.
Even when he gets mad at you, you could see, we know Barrett as the younger guy who is our age that, played and everything. He's just our buddy.
Right.
Even as an authority figure, and you start, he becomes, as a grandfather, he now becomes that old man who is not going to get up, but is going to give you come on now, son.
Right.
Like one of those stern, not yell and scream or anything like that.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have to. He's huge. Think about how big Grandpa Barrett is to this young little kid.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like when you looked up, when you and I were little, and we looked up to 5'10" adults, we thought they were giant. Think about him. It's like, geez, this guy's huge. I'm not going to do anything to upset him.
Yes. Yes. Not a word.
No.
You are going to move around and do whatever you possibly can, right?
Exactly.
Now I've got breaking news. Are you ready for this?
Is this good or bad?
I don't know. Depends on how you look at it. It might be good for us. @Verified tweeted this out 41 minutes ago. Here, quote, "Can you verify me? Save your tweets and DMs. There's a new official way to apply for a blue badge rolling out over the next few weeks. You can now submit an application to request verification in-app right from your account settings."
Really?
Your verified blue badge source.
Now, is that a phishing scam or is that legitimate Twitter?
No, it's legit Twitter verified
Okay.
Verified. Yeah.
Now, where are you seeing this?
They tweeted it out, and
Oh, they
Tony
did?
responded to it, so that's why it came on my timeline. Yeah,
Who responded?
Bruno.
Oh,
and then John Kincaid behind him. So,
of course,
people that I follow were tweeting it. That's why.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're back in 3. We got some things happening on the network too. Now, Kai Carlin's going to join us at 12:35 or so.
Okay, good.
We'll get his thoughts on. Go back to
all the NBA stuff.
But looking at this thing really quick, I don't know. Are you going to do it? You're going to apply? Are you going to do it, man? You're going to do it? You're going to do it? Yeah.
I'll try. Sure. Why not?
I mean, at this point, why the hell not? Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, would that help us get guests if we had the blue check mark? Because that's all I think about are the shows. That's the only reason I'm on stupid Twitter. You know, if I worked in accounting, I wouldn't be on Twitter.
I changed my bio, on Twitter.
Okay. Is this breaking news too?
No. I just changed it to non-verified media member.
Well, you've got to change it because you keep getting new jobs every 2 weeks.
That's not true.
You keep adding more jobs to your Twitter bio.
I just changed it now to nothing, to non-verified media. No,
I see. Yeah.
Should I put something else up?
You deleted a lot of stuff from there over the last couple of months.
No, I needed to rework it, and I forgot to. I edited it and cut it, and then took a phone call and forgot to go back and paste what I wanted. That's all.
It is pretty impressive, though, that the picture you have behind your avatar picture is of the middle, given all the other responsibilities that you have.
Well, this is the one that I do. This is like the flagship show for me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's the flagship. I
mean, think about it. The only other thing, and we're on a 3-month break right now. No, I did not change my pronoun. I don't know what that is. I'm not written.
Yeah.
I just don't subscribe to it.
I don't even know what pronouns are.
Exactly. So I have no problem. You can use whatever pronouns you would like. I will never insult or judge or have any issue. I just don't subscribe to that. So you can call me whatever the hell you want. Most people already do. No, I mean, look, the reality is that on the grand scheme of things, on the totem pole, the hierarchy, if you will, because I don't know if you can still say totem pole, on the hierarchy.
I think that's out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, QVC will never come in the way of this show 11-1. So you never have to worry about that.
Right.
But, QVC is going to be the flagship for me when that thing kicks in. I'll still have props and locks because it's television and, it's on TV. So that and the middle are really the main flagship things I do right now. So there'll always be plugging and repping and even with John Gerald, right? We still want to plug our stuff too. So
right. Now, when does their show start?
It's a podcast that's up on.
But when is it going on Philly Voice? It is now? Or?
Yeah, their first one's up.
Okay.
So you go to like Spotify or something. But trust me, I want to cut back to the middle, QVC, and
on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
So Barrett is already on vacation to get his grandson, and the two of us hanging out for the next hour or so, overtime at 1 o'clock Eastern here on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. And before that, we kind of bounced around in the first hour. We still have fake news with Ron Culver.
We do.
It is a Thursday.
Yeah, and I wonder if he's going to do anything different since we have no Barrett.
Probably take a couple of shots at Barrett.
Well, maybe we could get Asman on.
I sent
comment about his Chipotle thing, and then he could play fake news with us.
Well, that's the thing. I sent Asman the invite. He has not even responded. He has not even said no to me.
Don't you hate that when you get ghosted for an invite to come on the show? Like, at least just tell me to go away. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Don't leave me hanging.
No, I think I might send him the invite every day.
I got to jump in here because I'm not going to try to throw anyone under the bus. But he did mention that you sent him the link earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not in studio now. So he did acknowledge that.
So he's acknowledging receipt of the invite.
He did acknowledge receipt of the invite. And I took that as, okay, he must be coming on today.
Did he acknowledge it on or off air? This is huge.
Off air.
Okay. See, that's why.
Yeah.
And then he's not going to do anything. That's the tell. If he had acknowledged it on air, then he put himself in the corner.
It could be cutting into his Chipotle time. I'm not sure.
Look,
I mean, what he should do is just, connect with you guys, stream from Chipotle.
Right. I'd like to see him in line ordering his lunch at Chipotle.
Or just sitting at the table, with Chipotle in the background. Free advertising for Chipotle.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Do you think he eats?
I don't believe it.
Does he eat in the restaurant, or does he go back to his house, or does he eat in the car?
Probably all three.
Yeah.
But like
who do you
said,
think?
I'm not
let me ask you this:
under the bus,
what do you think smells more like Chipotle? Jake Asman or Chipotle? Seriously.
What, you think he's wearing some kind of Chipotle cologne?
I think the guy eats so much of it, he probably sweats it.
It comes through his pores.
There was a time where I had so much THC in my body, I would just sweat it.
Yes, I remember those days.
People would look at me like, dude, I've been sitting next to you for 2.5 hours. You didn't walk out and smoke anything. I know that. How do all of a sudden you smell like you did?
Yes.
Why am I high?
Yeah, yeah. It's a contact high just from your sweat.
Seriously. I mean, this is before any airborne virus. You had to wear a surgical or a COVID K95 mask just working with me, and unless you wanted to feel a little loopy. That's all I'm saying is, I'm just using that as an example here. That's all. This guy probably sweats Chipotle. I have no doubt believing that. He won't eat anywhere else. He's getting jerked over on something, right? And he still won't eat anywhere else. Keegan Bradley in the lead, by the way, 4 under through
4
12.
under. Yeah, Paul Casey and a couple other guys, including Duffner, Stenson, Tom Lewis, are tied at 3 under.
You got the defending champ tied at 3 under. How about Tringali? Cameron
Tringali. He follows me on Twitter.
Does he?
Yeah, he's a
Georgia. Get him on.
Georgia Tech guy. I've tried.
Send him the invite. Okay, how about this? DM him right now the invite and say, "Hey, man, you're about to sign your card."
Right.
All right. How about you pop on for a couple of minutes?
I think he's kind of busy. It sounds like he's on the tee at 17, which is a tough par 3.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once he gets through 18, then after he signs his card, he does all the legal stuff.
Oh, he's through 17 now.
Yeah, he is. He's through 17.
Give you guys 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Right before he tees off on 18, maybe show the course a little bit.
Yeah.
It's too bad you don't have Jason Kokrak following you on Twitter. I
love Kokrak.
You got a bunch of guys here that are going to be hovering depending on how the afternoon goes, because not a great start for a couple of big names here, including Bryson.
You can have a great start, though, and it could all go to hell in a handbasket in 2 holes on this golf course.
Well, Bryson has actually picked up a stroke, but Xander, Rory still stay at 2 over. And Justin Thomas, last I checked, is still, he's on 12, still 3 over.
Wow. Your boy Morikawa is 2 under.
I saw him at 3 under.
Is he Jewish, Morikawa?
Yeah. Who was that guy used to call the fanatic all the time?
Oh, yeah.
With that big voice. He had a New York sound.
Yeah.
It was Maury. What?
Yeah, Maury from the Northeast. He was from Northeast Philly.
Yeah, but he was called from Jersey the whole time. Colin, I have 3 under or he's on 11. I have him at 3 under. Where do you have him at? Are you not updated?
This thing updates very slowly. The PGA Tour app or the PGA Tour website.
Tuesdays with Morikawa?
Yeah, Tuesdays with Morikawa. That was a great book.
Amazing.
Mitch Albom.
That's right.
Yeah.
He knew a lot about this young man before anybody did.
Right.
Imagine that. That book was out. Now, your guy, Charles Schwartzel, who I bet on, is even through 12, and that's good enough for me. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Around even right now for a long shot like that. Even at a top 20, I got some pretty good return on him. That's fine with me. Now, what are your thoughts on a guy here who has been pretty much forgotten based on his injury history recently, of course, and that's Brooks Koepka, even on 12 right now?
Yeah, he's still not right.
Is it enough to hover, though?
Well, he'll hover. He should make the cut.
Yeah, 91.
How about Ricky Fowler at even par?
Yeah, I don't mean, geez.
He was 2 under early. Gave a couple shots back. If he makes the cut, that's a win.
That is a win. I mean, I can't even imagine what the odds were for him to make the cut, but I imagine you were getting something back.
Actually, I was looking on Tuesday on DraftKings for that, and he wasn't listed in the make or miss cut section. Maybe they put him in on Wednesday.
Lock. Right?
Yeah.
You'd have to offer a bunch of good positive odds back. And I don't even who's going to lay 140 or 150 on him missing the cut?
Schauffele's over par.
Yeah, he's also at 2.
Rory's 2.
Yeah. I mean, look, you have a bunch of bigger names out there. I thought Ryan Palmer would have a better day so far. He's not over for him by any means. He's too over.
This Justin Thomas thing is a big concern to me.
Well, this is a guy
bogeyed a par 5.
Yeah. You had him as a winner.
Yeah.
Who else did we have on that liked him to win?
Was it Parles? I think Parles, yeah.
Yeah, it was Jeff Parles.
Yeah. He's only made one birdie. And, because a lot of these guys are going to make bogeys. But if you look at a guy and he's got a couple of bogeys, but he's also mixed in, 3 or 4 or 5 birdies, you're like, he's playing well enough. Maybe he got a couple of bad breaks and missed a couple of putts he should have made, but he's hitting the ball well. If you're not making, more than like one birdie through like 12 holes, you're probably not hitting it all that good.
Yeah.
So that's a concern.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened because I'm not watching, but the double on 18.
Yeah, he doubled 18 after bogeying 17.
Right. What you said is a tough 3. So
it's a tough, long par 3 with water.
Now,
and a lot of wind.
It's not terribly long.
It's over 200 yards.
No, I'm sorry, not the 3. I meant 18. Like, you get again, without seeing the physical layout of the hole at 505, you can get a pretty good drive, set up a nice, that's a gettable 2 right there. So
it depends on which way the wind's going.
Well, yes. So I assume something was working either against him or he completely just flopped something.
Well, I had heard earlier because Rory started on the back as well, and I had heard that on 16, which is a different direction. No, it is the same direction as 18. They're coming in with the beach on the right.
So that's a long 5-16.
Yeah, and he hit driver, and he was still 320 yards or so out or something. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like a 600-yard hole.
Yeah, I was saying it's over 6, but the gust must be like 20 miles per hour at that point.
Yeah.
If that's all he's getting off the tee.
It's 606 for that hole. Justin Thomas hit it 271 into the wind. So with driver, he normally hits it well over 300, and he had 338 left.
Yeah. But even still, like that same direction, same wind in your face, you get 271 off of 18 from a 505 distance. You're in good shape at that point to get on.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like something like he must have really messed up on 18. Or maybe he just had, I don't know, maybe it was a brutal 8-foot gimme that he missed. I don't know what it was, but to double out like that after you bogey on 17, and look, he was a 1 under at that point.
Yeah. Well, he had 199 in.
From 18.
On 18, Justin Thomas.
Okay.
His next shot only went 66 yards, and he hit it into the native area.
Oh my
then his next shot only went 31 yards from the native area, and he hit it into the right rough. So he's laying 3 in the rough.
Wait a second. How does he hit that shot from 199 out 60 what yards?
He hit it 66 yards. He must have had a horrendous lie.
Oh, okay. So he did not. Okay. I don't know where he landed on the drive. Do you? It must have. Yeah, it must have been in a
waist bunker. Waist bunker.
Okay, there you have it.
Yeah.
So he was just getting out.
Right.
So the drive killed him, and then he
Correct.
never recovered. Okay.
Right.
Unbelievable, man. That might do it. I mean, 3 over. I don't know how. I probably have
a lot
to
of golf to play. A lot of golf left
to win this though. Finishing at 3 over.
A lot of golf left.
I don't know, Harry. Keegan Bradley, by the way, has fallen back. So we don't have one clear leader right now.
Mm-hmm.
Casey fell back too, by the way. What the hell happened with Casey? Wasn't Casey just up there?
Yeah,
he
was like
bogeyed 18.
Yeah.
No, Casey bogeyed now to finish at 2 under.
Mm.
Looks like he's in the clubhouse
That's a great round.
2 under?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anything under par.
9. He just bogeyed 8, the par 3 8, so he'll finish up on 9. Okay. But we had a 4 under. We had a pretty good meet right there of 3, and now it's just a bunch of guys tied. Boy, that's a kick in the stones if you're splitting a winnings for a round 1 winner after that.
Mm-hmm.
4 different guys tied.
Yeah, and Jeff Bruder on the stream indicates that the 17th, that par 3 we talked about, is playing 240.
Yeah.
So That's a big boy par 3.
Yeah, and just looking at guys who have played that so far, it has not been easy.
And it's over water. I'd be hitting driver.
You had Morikawa with the birdie on 18.
Yeah, Maury birdied 18.
He did. Tom Lewis.
He is now Morikawa to me forever.
I'm trying to see if anybody else has played the back 9 in the top. All these guys came off on the front. Duffner did, though. And we still have Hovland in play, by the way.
Sure. Yeah,
2 under,
2 under.
Or on 12.
Yeah.
That's going to be difficult, man. I got to check these DraftKings lineups. We'll take a quick one here. Fake news with Ron Culver coming up next. Kai Carlin's going to join us as well. It's the middle on
and maybe Asman.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. All right, it's the middle. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell on the JAKIB Media YouTube page, and we're back in 3.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
People are wanting the Chipotle guy on.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And apparently on the PGA Tour broadcast, they said they were talking about a scratch golfer. PGA Tour radio, the guy said all scratch golfers would shoot over 90 in these conditions. And I guess Gary McCord echoed in. He said over 95.
Well, what's a scratch golfer normally shoot on tour conditions? Not like weather. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Probably in the 80s, you would think, right?
I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, the courses are, I mean, I'm thinking about it, right? Like the courses are made specifically tougher. It's not like your club or my club from the tips, right? We're talking about if
this is 7,800 yards from the tips. If they could stretch it to 7,800 yards.
Yeah. So think about that, right? Well, actually, let's come back to that.
The back nine's 4,000 yards.
That and that doesn't even count how much they're altering
with the wind
topography of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, let's hit this fake news. Ron Culver. Tuesdays, Thursdays. Normally we have Barrett who got it right on Tuesday. Barrett led the way on Tuesday, so he's gone. It's just on us and maybe the stream if they're helping out. What's up, Ron?
What's up, dude?
Well, you tell us, man.
Not a lot. What's going on?
We're just waiting for Jake Asman.
Are you?
Not that busy, man.
Must be a long line at Chipotle.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a date.
No.
No?
More likely a long line at Chipotle.
He's married to sport.
Yeah, he's married to the job.
He's married to the Jets and the Yankees.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, you guys ready? I got
Yes.
3 stories for you, 2 are real, 1 are fake. Here we go. Number 1, airlines might start weighing passengers before they're allowed to board their flight due to safety concerns over the weight and balance of the aircraft.
So I've seen this out there. I'm 95% sure, Harry, this wasn't an Onion or one of these sites putting it out there. But
Babylon B.
Yeah, but I guess my question would be, why now? Like,
I know.
Why now, shouldn't this have been something where, I mean, we're one of the fattest, biggest countries on the planet, right?
Right.
If this were why all of a sudden now is this a concern, or did something change in like legislation where you're allowed to do this?
Something did change. Airline took a big hit last year. They need some cash.
Well, I know I've been on like the small planes in the past where they've moved people from one side of the plane to the other, just to balance out the plane because it's a smaller plane. But it wasn't had to do like they weren't saying like, hey, you look like you're about 250 pounds. We need you in the back left. It wasn't like anything like that. They just sort of balanced out the plane by eyeballing people, the one number of people.
Can you be too big to get on a plane?
Oh, yeah.
No, but I mean, like, would they tell you, sorry, you've hit the weight limit, you can't fly?
They probably would, right? I mean, those are the same passengers that they make buy 2 seats.
Yeah, you got to fit in the seat.
Oh, I didn't know that they make passengers buy 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're large and in charge, they'll sit there and go, hey, you need to buy a second seat.
And you put up the armrest, I guess, right? And you try to sit in both the seats.
I mean, can you imagine? Look, you're a big individual. You're on one of these puddle jumpers going from Philadelphia to Dulles. And you're going up and down, the plane's going crazy on all this turbulence.
Right.
And you got Harry Mays over there eyeballing you like you're the problem, like you're the reason why this plane can't stay straight.
Well, I did fly back from LA once in a middle seat. And one of the people on my right or left, I forget, I think it was on my right, the aisle seat person, was very large. And it was the most uncomfortable plane ride I've ever had. And it was like 5.5 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible.
More uncomfortable than me sitting next to a baby nonstop from Philadelphia to Seattle? Seattle?
You would put the baby on your show. You'd probably be doing a show during the flight.
Oh, no. So at the moment, at that one time, for some reason, I had like this really bad sciatica pain, they call it, right? Shooting up.
Right down your leg?
Yeah. So, of course, it was the worst possible time in my life to have it where I was sitting on a flight forever. So I was actually up walking around a lot and standing in the back. But, all I wanted to do was sleep. I think yours is more miserable. All right, let's do story 2 before we run out of time here. We at least know that's real.
Story number 2, 2 brothers who own a puddle jumper airline service, are under FAA investigation after having a close encounter of the third kind.
All right. Well, I sense an airport theme. Right?
Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau said he saw a couple of UFOs during the pandemic out in his backyard.
I believe him.
Yeah,
Are you sure he wasn't
I do too.
like, he had the triple LeBron vision. He was seeing a planet. He saw Mars 3 times over.
Right. I tend to believe a lot of this UFO stuff.
Well, we have the declassified stuff that's coming out now that's basically convincing everybody what they already believed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm going to withhold. I'm sorry.
It's plausible.
It is. And I
Yeah.
was going to say, I'll withhold judgment until the third story. Plausible is a better way to put it. All right.
And finally, story number 3. A JetBlue flight had to be diverted because one of its male passengers was just trying to have a good time. And by good time, I mean snorting a white substance and then sexually harassing the flight attendants and other female passengers.
Whoa. Wow.
I mean, how do you get, here's the thing though. How do you get even a like, I don't know. I guess it's easy to sneak something on your person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm not shocked that somebody was able to sneak a bag of Coke on the flight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's what the white substance was and not bath salts. But what flight was this? JetBlue?
JetBlue.
Probably going from New York to Florida.
Or Florida to New York. Is there anything more from that story we should know about?
No?
No? Okay.
Just whether or not, I mean, you're just trying to have a good time.
Now,
Let an American man.
we could do this, which is completely dirty because it's a complete setup. And Kai Carlin at Kai_Carlin, who does a fantastic job covering the Sixers and is on here to talk about the Sixers and the NBA playoffs. What's up, brother?
There he is.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Great.
Good. And we appreciate you hopping on, especially a little early here, because you just jumped into our fake news segment. And I'm sure you heard that ridiculous story at the end. So I know, Ron, if you could give Kai the headlines really quick.
The rundown real quick.
Yes, and then we'll talk about it in the break, and you can tell us what the real story or the fake story is when we get back, okay?
All right. Real quick.
And no Googling, Kai.
Story number 1, airlines might start weighing passengers before they're allowed to board their flight due to safety concerns. Story number 2, 2 brothers who own a puddle jumper airline service are under FAA investigation after having a close encounter of the third kind. And story number 3, a JetBlue flight had to be diverted because one of its male passengers snorting a white substance, just having a good time with the ladies.
All right, we'll talk about all that coming up. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good.
Man, are you enjoying the play-in tournament as much as we are?
I love the play-in tournament. I thought that was fun. It's been fun so far, dude, for real.
What do you think? I mean, a lot of times when they do these things, they don't go back to the other format. Do you think this could be something that stays?
I think it is going to be something that stays. To be completely honest with you, I think I saw that the TV ratings for the two TNT games for Charlotte and Indiana and Washington, Boston were like 60% over TNT's like regular season ratings or something crazy like that. So if those numbers are going to continue to stay high, that's something that the NBA is going to look at and be like, this is going to be really great for our TV ratings and things like that. So I definitely think they're going to keep it.
Wow, I didn't know those ratings were that good. But yeah, if that's the case, it probably doesn't. They probably don't go back. I mean, to me, I kind of like it. You know, the idea that you just have a sort of a one and done. If you're the 10 seed, you might be able to get in and extend your season. But it looked the other night, and we were joking on the show yesterday, that the Washington Wizards just had no interest in that game. I mean, Westbrook was terrible. Beal really wasn't, I know he's still banged up. He really didn't look all that committed to it. What was your take on that game?
It looked like they were doing okay until Jason Tatum decided to be Jason Tatum. I feel like Tatum just kind of took their heart in the third quarter. I think it was. I think that's when he really started to get going a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I will agree to a certain extent that they look like the Wizards, like they got punched in the mouth and they were like, all right, we have another chance on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? But if you're Boston, I feel like that game meant more to them than it did to Washington.
Yeah, that's fair. Just like last night with the Lakers and Golden State. I mean, that meant way more to LeBron and the Lakers to get the 7 seed.
Right. I still feel like the Lakers going into this series now with Phoenix, now that they did get the 7th seed. I mean, listen, if LeBron James is healthy, guys, I still have Lakers winning the whole thing just because it's LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I don't care what seed they are. Mm-hmm. So if LeBron's healthy.
It feels like a Davis series, right? It feels like LeBron healthy is going to do his thing. You're going to find, if it's Schroeder, you're going to find somebody in that third option. But it just feels like from a matchup standpoint, this can be a 30-12 night every game for Anthony Davis.
You're talking about against Phoenix, right?
Yeah, against Phoenix.
Well, yeah, because I think the only guy Phoenix can really even throw at him is like either Jay Crowder or DeAndre Ayton. Mm-hmm. And Crowder is like one of those like real scrappy defenders that will get into you and like really make your life miserable. But at the end of the day, Davis is a lot bigger than Crowder, and he'll just use his size against him at the end of the day. He's also a lot more athletic.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. This could be like a 30-12 series for him, and they really don't even need a lot of LeBron James.
Amazing. They're coming back on the network now, but
This is The Middle on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
So Kai's in the house, and you can follow him, as you can see on the stream here, the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. And if you're listening on SportsMap Radio, at Kai_Carlin covers all things for the 76ers and beyond for the Sixers Wire, USA Today. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. You can keep up with everything that he's doing. So we just got a couple of nice little nuggets from you just about the play-in game and tournament and looking at where we are heading into the playoffs, especially with LeBron. But as you jumped in with our fake news, we need help. Normally we have the savvy mind, the sharp approach of Barrett Brooks. But in this case, we've elevated, we've upgraded to Kai Carlin. Now, I'll say this. I know the first story to be true because I saw it tweeted out a day or so. So I know that first story is true. The other two, I don't. Basically, the guys who own the Puddle Jumper airline or airport that claim they saw the UFO versus the third story, which is the guy all coked up on the JetBlue flight was kicked off for harassing and doing all types of crazy stuff, which seems real. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you guys look at it. Before we get back into the meat of why Kai's here.
I kind of think I would have heard about that third story.
Because that's up your alley? Like that?
No, but I mean, that's pretty outlandish. I mean, you guys doing, cocaine, running around an airplane, assaulting women. I think that's a pretty big story.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with Harry. I feel like if that third story was like real, that would be plastered all over like all social media. And
right.
everything else.
I mean, to me, that's the 1980s, but we're in a different time. You know what I mean? Like that went on every flight in the 1980s.
Yeah, you had people smoking, you had all this stuff going on back in the day, right? Drinking, and what happened to the good old days of being coked up and harassing people on an airplane? Jeez. Now, what about the second story, though? Like, are we just going to all agree that seeing UFOs has become normalized in our society?
I mean, I don't believe in aliens, but I mean, I'm one of those people that I kind of don't believe that there's any life out there outside of us. But I mean, who knows? And like maybe they just kind of saw like a shooting star or something, and they just kind of confused it with a UFO.
See, I'm with you. All right, I think we're all on 3 then, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
3 is no. We're trying to choose the fake story here. So 2.
You think 2?
No. But Kai, you say you don't believe in aliens. So wouldn't that make story 2 fake if they're saying that they saw aliens?
I mean, who knows? But like the story 3 sounds absolutely ridiculous, though. The fact that you on an airplane.
Fair enough.
So
all right,
I think I'm going to rock with that one as the fake one.
Fair enough. All 3 of us are on 3, Ron.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Eytan, I sent you an email. So you guys can dive into story number 3 a little bit more.
Oh, boy.
Because story number 3 is, in fact, real.
Oh.
Story number 2 may sound familiar if you were a fan of the TV show Wings, because I lifted one of the episode plot lines to make up that story.
Wow. From Wings. How many years was that on TV?
Enough.
I think I made 3 seasons tops.
Enough for Culver to justify a reference. No wonder why none of us got it right.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you couldn't use The Office or The Simpsons or Martin or something like that. I mean,
you know what? I chose. There was a theme to today's fake news is airlines, airplanes.
Yeah.
Name me another airplane sitcom.
Wasn't Wings like a small airport in like New England or something? It was supposed to be.
Two brothers who owned a puddle jumping air service.
Unbelievable.
Had a counter with close encounter of the third kind.
I feel worse than I did last night when I had the Lakers laying 5 and 26 seconds to go off of a miss. Steve Kerr instructs his team not to foul. I feel worse than that.
Terrible.
What did you saw that, right? What am I missing something with that?
Yeah, I mean, why don't you foul there?
Maybe
because you have another game.
I'm looking at it from a betting standpoint of I'm pissed off because I was hoping for the push at that point. But I mean, I get it. Like you could theoretically justify playing D, running the clock out, getting 2 seconds, putting it in the hands of Steph Curry. But I just thought that they would extend the game and make it a trade 2 for 3, putting them on the line and then push a 3 with Curry. But what do I know?
Nope.
I lost the bet. All right, let's look, Kai, at the Sixers here.
Yeah.
As we know at least what's going to happen moving forward. Second, third, getting to the Eastern and eventually the NBA Finals is the goal here. Let's just look at it this way, and it can be anything. It can be depth. It can be they're only going to go 6 deep. It could be Joel Embiid's stomach. It could be Ben Simmons will be phased out of a game, or something that you particularly want to go with. What's your main concern about this team? Not in the first round or even 2, but just overall about heading into what we believe to be a really deep run.
I think it's Tobias Harris. And the reason why I say that is Tobias is actually having like a really, really good year. I thought he should have been an all-star this year with the way he was performing. But if you look at his playoff numbers, not just in his two playoff runs with Philadelphia, but even in his earlier playoff run in 2016 with the Detroit Pistons, his playoff numbers are terrible. I think he shoots only 31% from deep in his playoff career. I think he's only shooting 42% from the floor overall in his playoff career, averaging like 15 points. That can't happen this time around. It can't. And I was thinking of a potential matchup with the Brooklyn Nets and all the offensive firepower they have between Durant, Irving, Harden, Joe Harris, Jeff Green, proven guys, things like that. If you're not going to beat them with just Joel, where's the scoring going to come from? Ben averaged 14 points a game this year. Tobias averaged 19 points a game, but as I mentioned, he doesn't really play well in the playoffs. Is Steph Curry going to provide that offense? Is Danny Green going to be able to provide that offense? I think Tobias has to be able to average in a series of Brooklyn somewhere around 23 to 25 a night just to even keep up with them because of all the firepower that Brooklyn has.
All right, you're on to Brooklyn with that, and I get it. But how concerned should Sixers fans be about the New York Knickerbockers in a second-round series who have had an unbelievable season under Thibodeau?
Honestly, Harry, I've thought about that one a lot too, because New York actually, even though Philadelphia swept them in all 3 games, all 3 of those games came down to the wire. Even the one they played back in December, I think it was just the second game of the year, and I remember the Knicks pushed them like all the way to the end of that game. Listen, the Knicks are a team that I would be concerned about a little bit just because of, you mentioned Thibodeau. He is such a great defensive mastermind, and he does a really good job of taking, the opposing team's stars out of a game. He did a really good job against Joel in those 3 games coming up with the game plan. I know Joel didn't play in I think 2 of those games at the end of the year because of his injury. And then there's Ben Simmons, where it's like, is Ben Simmons going to actually contribute on the offensive end of the floor? Like, he's another one that I feel like for the Sixers to even get to where they want to go, he's got to average somewhere close to 20 a game. Yeah. And be that superstar, that
aggressive.
Aggressive. They're that guy. And I think Simmons does so many good things for his team offensively. He creates so many open looks for Seth and Danny and Tobias and everybody else. Like that's his role. That's his role in this team. But when the playoffs roll around, man, the last time he played in the playoffs was the 2019 semis against Toronto. He averaged 11 points a game in that series.
Yeah,
11. And I get it. They had Jimmy Butler at that time. Jimmy was kind of the number 2 scorer, but Ben's got to average more than 11 points a game in a playoff series.
How much room is there for growth? And I mean that not to say that we have the defeatist mentality. They're not going to win it all, or they're not going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, or even in the NBA Finals in between. But how much room is there for growth with this team? And I guess what I'm asking, Kai, is let's assume they do make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They do make it to the NBA Finals. But as we know in this league, you don't always win your first time out, and you need to grow, and you need to go in a couple of times in the playoffs. Do you think that Daryl Morey and the team recognize that it might just be a small little tweak on the exterior of this roster to grow, or is there still possibly some major move that could happen, maybe even in like a knee-jerk reaction type?
I don't think they'll make like a major move unless they lose in round 2. Like if they were to somehow lose to the Knicks or the Hawks in round 2, that's where I feel like maybe Daryl would look at this roster and be like, maybe Ben and Joel can't play together. And I feel like a lot of people would be asking that question if they lost in round 2 again, like even as the number 1 seed. If they were to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, which I think they will, if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals even, and let's just say they don't get it done, then sure, they'll make a small minor tweak here and there, kind of like maybe help them push over the top a little bit. At the trade deadline this year, they believe George Hill was that guy, that little small minor move that can kind of get them over the top a little bit. So I feel like it's just going to all depend on what they do in the playoffs. I do believe that if they were to lose round 2 again, I think heads would roll, and it's just like especially with all the hype surrounding this team this year, first number 1 seed in 20 years. So like there's this I think that's the only way you see a major move.
It is really concerning when you really think about, they had to go to the final weekend to clinch, right? The number 1 seed over a team that didn't have its nucleus together for, 7-8 games, whatever it was. And, the Brooklyn Nets were still right there the entire season.
Yeah. And this is what I say about a lot of teams about really just about the Nets. I say this all the time. Like the Nets have been my pick. The Nets were my pick on opening night, even before the Harden deal, before, they even came together. Brooklyn was my pick, and they're still my pick. And it's because you have 3 legitimate superstars in Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. I don't care how many games they played together or didn't play together. Like those 3 guys are going to figure it out. And then also it's not just those 3, man. A lot of people seem to forget that Joe Harris is like a 48
3-pointer. Yeah.
Like Joe Harris will feast because of all the attention those 3 guys get. Then there's Blake Griffin, who all of a sudden looks revitalized. Like Blake Griffin's dunking again. So, if you get Blake Griffin, playing the way he is, and then there's Jeff Green, who's another guy who's like a proven guy. He's been in the NBA Finals.
He's been in the NBA for 30 years.
Right.
It's amazing.
It feels like Jeff Green's been in the league forever.
Yeah.
Who was the point? He's Steve Blake for Maryland.
Yeah.
Steve Blake was at Maryland for a decade.
Right.
Yeah, Steve Blake.
No, but it's amazing. You talk about Griffin. It's amazing your hops come back when you look around the locker room and you see Kevin Durant's lockers over there. You got Kyrie Irving. You got, it's like, hey, I can play again.
Right? Like all of a sudden, you go from playing with Jeremy Grant and Mason Plumlee to now playing with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So
right.
And you're in Brooklyn, which can't be a bad, or North Jersey or Southern Connecticut, wherever the hell you choose to live. It can't be a bad thing.
Hey man, like listen, as a guy who's from Michigan, I will not allow you to trash Detroit, the city or anything like that, man. I'm from there.
See, that's where we need Barrett to be like, come on now, I played in Detroit.
I played with the Lions.
Now. It's not that bad now. He's still, you'll appreciate this, right? He still stands up and stands for Matt Millen. Because it's yes. Do you see the look? If you're not watching on the JAKIB Media YouTube page, then shame on you because you just got the most natural reaction from Kai Carlin, who's from that area.
Oh yeah.
Nobody in their right mind would stick up for Matt Millen.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
Oh yeah. He sticks up for Millen. He blames it all on Bobby Ross.
That's right. That's right. He found a scapegoat in Bobby Ross, knowing that nobody in their right mind would say, well, Bobby Ross actually had it together. Right. So it's a perfect scapegoat. Hey, do me a favor. Hang for just a second here. We want to wrap the hour coming up on the network. It's the middle. JAKIB Media YouTube page. Like, share, subscribe, the notification bell so you never miss a sec. We're back in 3. All right. So as we kind of just wind down here with you, I'm curious to go on that vein of Brooklyn, because it's amazing. They really, crazy as it may sound, probably don't need that much time to gel. With that said, it's the anticipated matchup, right? That 2-3 matchup that we all want to see in the play. How do you even look at that? Assuming that everybody's healthy, nobody gets hurt in the first round, and both Milwaukee and Brooklyn cruise. How do you even look at this matchup head to head?
Oh, that's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. Milwaukee is another team, by the way. Just side note, if I'm a Sixers fan, I'm very worried about them as well because the Bucks are just a matchup problem all over the board. But for Bucks Nets specifically, I think that would be just a really interesting matchup because Drew Holiday is such a great defender, and Drew Holiday is a guy who I thought the Sixers should have done everything they could to try to get him here because he would have bring him back because he would have been a really great addition to this team. But Drew Holiday will get into Kyrie Irving and just like really make life miserable for him. And then there's Giannis, who is obviously an incredible defender, and that'll be interesting to see that matchup between him and Durant. Then there's Brook Lopez and what he does in bringing guys out of the paint because of the way he can shoot the three ball. And then there's just James Harden with everything that he does with his scoring, his rebounding, his assists. All of a sudden, he's a very solid post defender. All of a sudden, so I'm that would be like a very interesting matchup. I'll probably take Brooklyn in 7 games just because they'd have the home court.
Wow.
If
I would tell you that it's going to go 7, no matter what, it's going to go 7. And Philadelphia is going to have to win that game on their home court, what they earned in 7. Who would you rather face, Brooklyn or Milwaukee? So now you have the benefit and you're cornered into knowing Kai it's going 7. Sorry.
I would probably rather face Milwaukee. Like I said, the Bucks are another team that does kind of offer a lot of matchup problems just because Lopez can shoot the 3 ball close to the half court line for some reason. And that brings Joel out of the paint, which then allows Giannis to get to the basket. And then you could say, oh, well, you can just wall Giannis off. And it's like, okay, but then he's got Drew Holiday, who's shooting well from deep. He's got Chris Middleton, who's shooting over 42% from deep. Then you got Dante DiVincenzo, who's shooting pretty well from deep. Then you have Bobby Portis, Bobby Portis is shooting 48% from deep off Milwaukee's bench.
That's crazy.
And Bobby Portis. So I would probably rather face the Bucks, but it's no guarantee.
Fair enough, man. No, it's crazy to look at how this whole thing plays out, just with the Sixers, the expectations of it. And then you've got these two teams that, as bad as the Eastern Conference was, it's down to 3, and the Sixers have not, even in years where Milwaukee has kind of run away with it. Granted, it didn't transfer into them winning anything. You still had that like definitive jacked up squad, and maybe that would just, here we go, make us feel better about it.
The middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, Kai, we appreciate you joining us, brother. On your way out, any thoughts on the final 2 games before the actual playoffs start? I mean, tonight, I look at the total at 230.
Eytan's looking for a betting angle here, Kai.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, I get it. Washington was totally disinterested their first game, but the Pacers just are going to score points. So maybe the saving grace here is that there are a lot of points being scored. I don't know how you look at tonight, who wins that, and then tomorrow night as well between the Grizz and the Warriors. Not that it really matters, but we can't start the playoffs until these 2 team or games are played.
I'm selfishly hoping that the Wizards win because that's easier travel for me for game 3 and game 4.
I like that angle.
Just like that's the angle I have. Selfishly hoping that the Wizards get it done tonight. But I also I'm not really sure about the Wizards anymore, man. Like, they're at home. I understand that. I think Washington, D.C. just started allowing fans and arenas, I think, at the end of April. So there will be fans in there and everything. But the Wizards, to me, if Bradley Beal is not 100%, and you're relying on just Russell Westbrook to kind of beat a Pacer team that has so many different weapons, even without Karis LeVert. And with Malcolm Brogdon and Domantas Sabonis, who is a beast, by the way. I love that. I love the way that guy plays. You got Brogdon, you got Sabonis, you have Doug McDermott, who does a really good job of fulfilling his role there. You have the Holidays, Justin and Aaron, who fulfill their roles in there. And and even though there's a lot of issues surrounding the coach Nate Bjorkgren, the Pacers they play hard every single time. So I'm not really sure. I guess I would have to lean more towards Indiana just because I don't know about Bradley Beal's injury.
All right, last one real quick.
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
How good of a series is Milwaukee and Miami?
Ooh.
Well, I don't know.
Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Miami's healthy.
I'm looking forward to it too because, as Eytan just mentioned, the Heat are healthy now. Like they're fully healthy. But this also isn't the bubble, and the Heat beat up on them in the bubble in 5 games, I think it was. So, I mean, I think we still have to give the Heat their respects. They are the defending Eastern Conference champions. However, this is not the bubble. This is going to be regular playoff stakes, and I'll probably take the Bucks in 6 games.
Okay.
Love you, Kai. Thanks, brother.
Thanks,
for hopping on, man.
Thank you guys so much for having me on, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
You got it. Thanks, Ron. We're back tomorrow. Overtime next.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor, Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
All right, thanks to Kai for popping on. A lot to think about there with that conversation, man, about just this playoffs. I heard in the beginning, I think this was in the break actually, before we came back in between live news, fake news, about how the ratings and all for this play.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I think this is.
I think it's here to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know how that
like
works.
A wild card, right? The NBA has created a wild card.
Right. And, say how meaningless it may be for that 9th or 10th seed team. And I get all that, but it's an extra game or two. It's more things to watch that do essentially mean something. And it's more things to bet on. So I don't think it's going anywhere, especially if people are watching it.
Look, I'm going to watch it mainly because I'm on the air and all, but I'm going to watch it tonight. I'll watch that crap game tonight, and I'll watch the game tomorrow, which I think at least will be a little bit better. But, I mean, goodness, I even checked in, as dirty as I feel for admitting this. I even checked in on that Memphis Spurs game.
I actually caught – it's funny you bring that up because I was looking on my phone for, the Yahoo Sports app or whatever that I have, and it gives you the up-to-date scores. The reason why I like that app is they're really up-to-date.
Yeah.
So it said that game was like a 3-point game with 8 seconds left. So I immediately found what network it was on. I think it was ESPN, and I popped it on. And I'm like, I'm in for the for the final. John Morant was on the free throw line. So I tuned in for 20 seconds.
Here was my whole thing on this thing, right? Pop is looked at as like this genius, this smart guy, this intelligent guy. He knows his team. It was the 10th seed.
Yeah.
They had no shot in hell in doing anything. A smart, savvy individual would have told his guys, let's get the hell out of here as soon as possible, instead of trying to exert some moral victory out there like, oh, I'm just happy that we competed and I'm really proud of this team. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I mean, unless there's some sort of playoff bonus clauses in some of those guys' contracts where it's like, yeah, the 10th seed playing game doesn't actuate or it doesn't, exercise the bonus. But if you make it into the 8th seed, you get some money.
At least, there's some money coming. All right.
Well, your boy Rudy Gay got the final shot for the Spurs season.
Amazing. You want to talk about a guy who's still in the NBA, amazingly.
Yeah.
I mean, Rudy Gay, we're going to be talking about Rudy Gay when, I don't know, Trae Young retires. Rudy Gay's still going to be in the NBA. He's going to be like the next Vince Carter.
Vince Carter. That's what I was just going to say. How many years has he been in the NBA? 20-some years, right?
Well, yeah, he retired, and that was it. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Now, what do you have tonight? Because I got a little action here I'm trying to get in on.
What kind of action? What, hockey?
No, I don't know. So this is what I ran. Now I'm one for 2 last night, but this was the 8 leg. I think it was 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 different legs in it, right? 3 bet parlays in 1 round robin. You ready?
Okay.
Went over 18.5 last night for Jonas Valanciunas total points.
What a game he had.
Amazing game he had. And because there was nothing. I mean, Spurs had nothing for him.
People forgot about him though. That guy.
They forgot about Jay.
Yeah, when he was with Toronto, everybody, he had other guys to compliment him, and you're like, hey, this guy's pretty good. Then he got traded to Memphis. You forgot all about him.
That's right.
He's good.
No, he is good. He's a good force down low rebound machine.
Yeah,
and
he's the real Tunis.
He's the only Tunis we recognize. Jonas Valanciunas. You can't give me more than not Eytan on a Nick Maton, then you're out.
Yeah.
Jonas Valanciunas over 18.5. That hit. Schroeder over 13.5 did not hit last night, and I'm disappointed because there was an opportunity for LeBron as facilitator to get he and Schroeder involved specifically. So no problem there. 1 for 2. Now, this is what I have coming up. All right. Now, then remember, this is all parlays and stuff. So I took a little liberty with one play, and that was Joaquin Neiman making the cut at minus 250.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to make the cut.
Harry, the guy hasn't missed a cut all year.
No, I know. He's a really solid iron player, man.
So I like that. He seems to be in good shape. Last night, or he hasn't teed off yet, right? He's either in good shape or he hasn't teed off yet.
I think he's later in the afternoon.
I think you're right.
Martin Laird is now leading the tournament by himself at 4
No, I have
under.
Keegan Bradley at minus 3 through 15.
So Laird dropped back again?
No, Laird is, both are minus 3.
Oh, okay. So Laird must have bogeyed one. 17, he probably bogeyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of guys 2 under, including Brooks Koepka.
Yeah. How about that?
And Hovland, the long bomber. So I got Neiman making the cut at minus 250. And as you said, I mean, that's the guy's make the cut machine. Let's see. Also have the Clippers minus 5. Then I just went chalk. I went chalk because here's the thing. I don't see these games going the other way game 1. So maybe you can help me through this. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I laid the only one that I would be a little concerned about is laying the 5 for the Clippers at home against Dallas. But if the Clippers are on, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, if you just look at when those guys played and you extrapolate it throughout the NBA, they would have had the best record by a pretty good margin.
Okay.
So when the 2 of them are on the floor together, the Clippers are one, if not the best team in the NBA. So I lay the 5 there with LA. I lay the 7 with Brooklyn at home against Boston game 1. No problem doing that.
No problem there.
Denver.
Neiman tees off at 1 in about 2 minutes.
Oh, nice. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah.
Neiman. The Denver Nuggets at home against Portland. Money line. I laid 118 on a money line play.
Yeah. Portland's been really playing well.
Yes.
I could see them taking one of those games in Denver.
Game 2, I can see it. But the problem is that Nurkic becomes pretty much marginalized. And that backcourt, I mean, look, it ain't going to be Carmelo Anthony that's going to be scoring 25 or 30. So you have one rough half from CJ McCollum, let's say, and that's what I think they can. But look, it's a money line play, so I don't care how it comes.
Right,
and then I think the Knicks on the money line beating Atlanta. They're at home.
I like all of those.
Okay. But here's the problem, though, is that those 5 plays are all chalk.
Mm-hmm. But what does the round robin odds come up to?
As far as,
I mean, if you're taking
they're all 3-bet parlays.
Oh, okay.
You know, you're basically minus 118. The only thing that's really thick there is the Joaquin Neiman at minus 250, but you combine that with 2 other minus 118s, and you're in good shape. I mean, you're being the plus side. That's all. It's just, you lose one of these like I did with Schroeder, and then you're down to half of your bets cashing. Still make money on it, but that's really it. I don't know what to make of tonight's game. I think I'm going to stay away. The only thing I would say is,
what about a total play?
It's high, and I don't know if I can trust the Wizards, honestly, especially if Bradley Beal is still a little banged up. Here's what I would say, though, Harry, because it's in Washington, you should get a pretty favorable return. I'm looking for it right here really quickly, but the Bullets Wizards are really not a good Bullets. Wow, where did that come?
Wow.
That's Wizards,
like Redskins. That's worse.
It is. The Wizards are not a good first quarter team. They're a slow starter, right?
Yeah.
They're a late bloomer. That's what they call you, right? In school. Oh, don't worry. He's not a troublemaker. He's just a late bloomer.
Right.
Pacers, meanwhile, they love to come out firing. I can get the Pacers at plus 105 on the money line first quarter, and I can also lay 2.5 at plus 175 for the first quarter. So I'm going to stake those each at 1 unit and suggest you do the same.
Yeah. Pacers first quarter.
Pacers first quarter money line, Pacers minus 2.5 first quarter.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to get out for golf before we get out of here?
No, I'm just going to be rooting Jordan Spieth in.
There you go. Ricky Fowler, 1 under on the day.
That's a great round for him.
This guy's going to make the cut.
It's a great round.
I just need Bryson to miss it. All right, thanks to everybody out there. We're back tomorrow. Another edition of The Middle. Brooks on the road. That should be
KC.
We'll see you.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
See you guys.